Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how I created this scene inside Blender, and I'm going to show you the ways that I have used to achieve this result. And if you're interested in this project file, you can find it on my Patreon. I hope you like this video. Let's go to the tutorial. So when we start the tutorial, this is the project file that you'll find. As you can see, it's not that much. The reason that I have placed this project file is so that you will have some frame before you start the tutorial. So just if you press 0 in your numpad, yeah, you'll find the camera view and the shape of the building which we are going to work on. So to create the road and everything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit tab to get inside of the edit mode, change this one to edge selection mode. I'm going to select this edge and I'm going to select this edge like this, and I'm going to press shift D. As you can see, now it's duplicated. After that, I'm going to press P and then select this selection. What this is going to do is it's going to make the duplicated item a separate object. So if I get outside of the edit mode by pressing tab and select right here, as you can see, we can see the edge that's selected. So hit tab to get inside of the edit mode. I'm going to select this edge again. I'm going to press E to extrude it. When I extrude it, as you can see, it's not fixed on any axis, so I'm going to press X to extrude it in the X axis, but I'm going to give it a specific number. So I'm going to give it 2 meters. As you can see, when I give it 2, it's going to extrude 2 meters, and I'm going to enter in my keyboard. Now this is going to be the width of my sidewalk. After this, I can go to my camera view like this. I can select this one and I can press G and move it something like this until it's outside of the camera. And I'm going to select this one. I'm going to press E to extrude it, and I'm going to press Y so that it will be fixed on the Y axis. I think right around here is enough. After that, I'm going to select this edge. I'm going to hold on shift and select this one, and I'm going to press shift D to duplicate it like this. As you can see, I have duplicated this one, and I'm going to hit P and then select this selection. Now this one is a duplicated object. Get outside of the edit mode, select the one that you have duplicated it, get inside of the edit mode by pressing tab, press A to select everything. After this, I'm going to press E to extrude it, maybe something like this. But as you can see, it's not fixed on any axis, so I'm going to press Z to fix it on the Z axis. So I think maybe something like this will be good. Yep, something like this will be good. After that, I'm going to press E and then hit X so that it will be fixed on the X axis. I'm going to use 0.13 for the dimension of this part. So I'm going to click so that it will be fixed. And after this, I'm going to press E to extrude it and hit Z so that it will be fixed on the Z axis. Or something like this will be good. After that, I'm going to press E to extrude it and hit X so that it will be fixed on the X axis. So I'm just going to extrude it like this. I can hit 0 to get inside of the camera mode and then press GX and then move it something like this. After this, let me change this to face selection mode. I'm going to select this face, and then press P and then select this selection. And if you get outside of the edit mode, as you can see, this one is a separate object, this one, and also all of them are separate objects. After this, let us model the building. So select it, hit tab to get inside of the edit mode. Let me get inside of the camera mode so that I can work according to this camera. And I'm going to press Ctrl R to create an edge loop, as you can see. And I will place it somewhere around here. But as you can see, the edge loop is inclined. So to make it horizontal, what you can do is press S, Z, and then 0. When you do, as you can see, it's perfectly horizontal. So after this, I'm going to press GZ and move it something like this. And also I can press Ctrl R again. As you can see, when I hover around the horizontal part of the mesh, as you can see, it's going to give me a vertical subdivision. And also if you scroll your middle mouse upward, it's going to increase the number of subdivisions that's placed inside the scene. So I'm going to scroll it until I have 3 number of subdivisions. After this, I'm going to click it. When I do that, as you can see, I can move them, but I can hit escape so that it will be placed in the center. After this, let me give it a horizontal subdivision. So I'm going to hover around the vertical part and press Ctrl R, as you can see. And I'm going to give it also 3 number of subdivisions and maybe place it right around here. After this, I'm going to change this one to face selection mode. I'm going to select this face, select all of the 4 faces, which I'm going to use for the window. I'm going to hit P and then select this selection. As you can see, when I do that, it's going to be a separate object. So get outside of the edit mode, select this window right here, hit tab to get inside of the edit mode. As you can see, I have the 4 faces. To make this one whole one face, what you can do is press A and then press X and select this limited dissolve. As you can see, it's going to dissolve it. After this, get outside of the edit mode. If you press in your keyboard, if you go to this item, as you can see a parameter called the scale. And as you can see, all of the axes, they are 1, which means that the scale of this object is applied. For example, if the scale of the object is not applied, for example, if I press SZ and scale it in the Z axis, for example, and get inside of the edit mode by pressing tab. If I press I As you can see, when I insert it, the insetting is not being applied correctly. As you can see, the vertical part is more bigger than the horizontal part. The reason for that is if I get outside of the edit, as you can see, the scale of the z-axis is not 1 as the x and the y-axis. So this needs to be 1 for the manipulation or for the modifiers to work properly. So for example, if I get inside of the edit mode again, let me press Ctrl Z, and as you can see, the scale is not applied. So press Ctrl A, and if I select the scale, as you can see now, the scale is applied. So if I get inside of the edit mode again, if I press I, now as you can see, the inset is being applied correctly in the vertical and the horizontal part. So make sure that the scale is applied whenever you are doing anything after you have scaled any of the objects. So I'm going to hit Ctrl Z to get to my previous position. The scale is applied already. So let me hit 0 to get inside of the camera mode, hit tab to get inside of the camera mode, press A to select everything, and then press I to insert it like this, as you can see. And I'm going to press I again to insert it, and I'm going to press I again to insert it, something like this. Yep, after this I'm going to press E to extrude it, something like this will be good. After this I'm going to press X, and then I'm going to select these faces so that it will be deleted. Now I have my window. After this, let me I'll click this edge. As you can see, when I'll click this edge, it's going to select the entire edge loop. And also I'm going to hold on Shift and then Alt and then click this edge. It's going to select multiple edge loops. After this, I'm going to press E, and then I'm going to extrude it outward like this, as you can see. After this, let us create the window. So to do that, I'm going to change this one to edge selection mode. I'm going to click this edge. I should not have deleted the face, but I'm going to press F to fill it. As you can see, it's going to create a face. I'm going to press P and then select this selection. As I've shown you earlier, it's going to become a separate object. So if I get outside of the edit mode and select this one, hit tab to get inside of the edit mode, we can see something like this. I'm going to press H, select everything, and I'm going to press R to insert it. Something like this will be good. You can see the contour, the thickness of the inset right here. Something like this will be good. After that, I'm going to right click and I'm going to subdivide like this. I'll right click again, hit subdivide. I have a subdivision of like this. And after this, I'm going to hit Ctrl B to bevel it. So I think something like this will be good. Yep, you can control the amount of bevel right here, the width, as you can see, if I increase it. And also I can control the number of segments that are added inside the bevel. But I only need one segment, so I'm going to keep this as one. I'm going to change this one to face selection mode. And I'm going to select this face, hold on Shift to select multiple faces like this. And after this, I'm going to hit P and select the selection. Now this one is a separate object as we have done earlier. And also I'm going to select the part which are going to be the windows. Hold on Shift to select multiple faces. And I'm going to hit P and then select the selection. And now we are only left with the mullion, which are going to be the frame of the window. After this, select this one, go to modifier properties, and I'm going to add a solidify modifier. As you can see, I'm going to add a solidify modifier, and I'm going to make this one the offset to 1 so that it will be in on the outside. So I'm going to increase the thickness like this. After this, I'm going to give it a bevel modifier, and I can control the amount. For example, let me make this one 0.002, maybe 0.005 will be good. And I can increase the segment to 2, 3, and 4. Most of the time I use 4. After this, I'm going to select this one also, which is going to be the other frame, and select this one later. After this, press Ctrl L and select this copy modifiers. It's going to copy the modifier from the active object. As you can see, the active object is outlined with orange color, and the other selected objects are going to be selected with the red color. So make sure that the one with the modifiers on have to be the object, the active object. So as you can see, the modifier is now being applied. But let me change the bevel to, for example, let me make this one 0.001 so that it will be bigger, and let me increase the number of segments. Maybe drag this one to control it manually like this. As you can see, yeah, you can control this one manually like this. So this is going to be the window, and also I'm going to select the window. I'm going to give it a solidify modifier so that it will have a little amount of thickness. So I'm going to press GX and then move it like this. Let me select this one. Let me increase the thickness like this. I'm going to select this one also. I'm going to give it a bevel modifier, and let me decrease the amount of the solidify like this. Yep, something like this will be good. After this, let me model the bottom part. So I'm going to tap to get inside of the edit mode, and I'm going to select this one, and I can hold on Control and click the last one. It's going to select the consecutive faces. After this, I'm going to hit P, and then I'm going to select this selection. It's going to make it a separate object. So get outside of the edit mode again, and then select this one. Hit tab to get inside of the edit mode. To dissolve these subdivisions, what you have to do is press A and then press X and select this limited dissolve. As you can see, we don't have any H in the middle. After this, I'm going to press Ctrl R, and I'm going to give it a subdivision like this. And also we have the property here, right here. As you can see, we can increase the number of cuts right here, but I'm going to give it 21 as it was before. I can press 0 to get inside of the camera mode so that I can manipulate the number of cuts according to the view that I'm going to render it. So I think the placement of these cuts is good. Maybe let me make it 20, maybe 23 or something. So after this, what I'm going to do is let me get outside of the camera mode like this. Let me change this one to face selection mode. I'm going to press H, select everything. After this, go to select and select this checkers to select. As you can see, it's going to deselect it like this. And I'm going to press P and I'm going to hit selection. When I do that, as you can see, this one is a separate object and this one is a separate object. After I've done that, select one of them, get inside of the edit mode by pressing tab, press A, press P, and then select by loose part. When you do that, all of them are going to be separate objects. So if I get outside of the edit mode, as you can see, all of them are now separate objects. And I'm going to select this one also, hit tab to get inside of the edit mode, press A, and then press P, and select by loose parts. So now, as you can see, all of them, they are separate objects. So what I'm going to do is, let me select this one, press A to hide it. Go to this view, I'm going to select all of them and let me give them a solidify modifier. So let me shift click one of them so that I will have an active object. After I have done that, go to this modifier properties, click this add modifier, and I'm going to give it a solidify modifier. When I do that, as you can see, it has now a solidify modifier, but make sure that the scale is applied so that this modifier will be applied correctly. As I have said earlier, to apply any scale, press Ctrl A and you can just select the scale to apply the scale. So after this, in order to give all of them a solidify modifier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Ctrl L and then select this copy modifier. As you can see, all of them have the same modifier. Let me increase the thickness, maybe 2.15 or something. Press Ctrl L again, select this copy modifiers. After I've done that, let me give it a bevel modifier. I think this one is a little bit too much, so let me decrease the amount, so 0.002 or something. Yep, something like this. I'm going to keep the segment maybe to 2. 2 will be good. Press Ctrl L again, select this copy modifiers. All of the modifiers will be copied to the other inactive objects which are selected. So to create variation among these elements, as you can see, they are a little bit too perfect. Go to object and go to transform and select this randomize transform. And you can see we have some properties right here. For example, if I increase the location of text, as you can see you can create some variations, and also in the Y, in the Z, and also the rotation, and also the scale. So we can use this parameters in order to create variation among these elements. So I'm going to keep the Z 0 in the rotation. Let me make everything 0 and let us go from the beginning. So I'm going to go to the top view. Let me go to the rotation of the Z. I'm going to hold on shift and drag the Z rotation so that it will be slower when I'm manipulating it. So maybe something like this will be good, and go to the X, the location of the X. Something like this. Just scroll the Z like this, just a little bit. Go to this view like this so that we can see what we are doing. Yep, I think I like what I'm getting. After you have finished manipulating this one, what you can do is I'm going to select this one, get inside of the edit mode by pressing tab. Let me change this one to H selection mode. I'm going to select this 8, press GZ and move it like this. We can also create variations manually, so just select one of them like this, get inside of the edit mode, select this one, press GZ and move it like this. And also what you can do is, for example, if you press 0 to get inside of the camera mode, and then I'm going to press K to activate the knife. So click right around this edge and I'm going to draw like this. And after I have finished, I can press enter. After I have done that, as you can see, it's going to be a selection. So press X and select this faces. So by using this, you can create a feeling of a broken wood. So just I'm going to select this one also, tap to get inside of the edit mode, press K, and I'm going to create a wood that's going to be believable. So after I finish, I'm going to press enter, I'm going to press X and then delete these faces. So by using this method, just create the variations that you need for this tutorial. So guys, as you can see, I have finished creating the wood. So after this, I'm going to navigate outside of the camera and I'm going to press Alt H to unhide the building. So as you can see, we have finished modeling the parts that are important to this scene. First, let us place some buildings besides this one. So to do that, I'm going to use the model that I've made in the previous tutorial, which you'll find the link in the top right corner. I'm going to use that model for this one. So, but by using the methods that I've shown you right here, you can just create the model yourself. So after this, we are going to go to texturing. To do that, I'm going to use a free add-on called EEVEE, which you'll find the link in the description below. This is the add-on. After you have purchased it, you will find these two files. The library one and the add-on one. So make sure that you have downloaded both of them. So after you have downloaded them, you'll find these two files, this the add-on part and this the library one. So what you have to do, just extract this library one, just extract it. After you have extracted this one, you'll find something like this. So after you have done that, go to Blender again, go to Edit, go to Preferences. In the add-ons, click this Install. After you have done that, what you can do is go find the add-on that you have downloaded with the lower megabyte. As you can see, this 1.1 megabyte. Select this one and click this install add-on. I've already installed it. Click this install add-on. After you have done that, you'll find something like this. So just activate this one. As you can see, easy PBR, and drag this one like this. In the PBR library path, what you can do is click this folder and go to the one that you have extracted earlier. So just easy PBR. I have extracted this one. As you can see, this is the folder that I want. So I'm going to hit accept. But before that, go to this folder, press N in your keyboard. Make sure that this relative path is deactivated so that it will work properly. Just after this, hit accept, and I'm going to click right here and I'm going to select the save preferences, and then I'm going to close it. So to see this easy PBR, what you can do is drag this upward and change this one to shader editor. And if we go right here, as you can see a tab called easy PBR. If you click this, you can see something like this. And we have online part and the local part. The local part are the one that we have downloaded. So just go to the online. So the first thing that we are going to do is let us give this one a brick texture. So I'm going to select this one. As you can see, we have a different options. So I'm going to select this bricks. When I do that, I will see a lot of brick options. So I'm going to select the one that suits this tutorial, which is going to be brick 023. So I'm going to select this one. This one is selected. So I'm going to select this download. When I do that, I will see some option like this. So I'm going to select the resolution. I'm going to use 2K JPEG. I have already downloaded, so just hit OK and download this one. So after you have done that, if you go to local, you can see all of the materials that you have downloaded. As you can see, I have downloaded a different variety of bricks. So if you go to local and if you click right here, you can see the bricks that you have downloaded or the materials that you have downloaded. And for example, I'm going to select this brick 23 and select the one that you want this brick to be applied. And I'm going to hit plus, and I will see there's two options, material and node group. And I'm going to select this material, and I can select the resolution that I have downloaded. Since I have already downloaded 2K JPEG, I will only have this option. After I have done that, all I have to do is hit OK. Now the material is being applied on this one. To see what this has given us, I'm going to select this one again, press A to hide it so that I will only view this one. So if I go to EEVEE material preview, as you can see, this is what I'm getting. The placement of this is not correct. So what I can do is just hit tab to get inside of the edit mode, press A and then press U, and I'm going to select this smart UV project. I'm going to select this one. Let me give it an aslant margin of 0.01 and I'm going to hit OK. Now we have something like this, but the placement of the texture is a little bit off. As you can see, the placement is a little bit off right here. The brick are a little bit offset to each other. So what I'm going to do is let me select anywhere else and let me change this one to a selection mode. I'm going to select and then hit select sharp edge and then right click and then mark seam. After this, I'm going to select this one, control click right here and then right click and then clear seam. I want this one to be a smooth one texture. So, and also I'm going to select this one, control click the bottom part, right click and then clear seam. After this, press A and then U, A and then U, and then select this unwrap. When I do that, as you can see now, the placement of this texture is continuous. As you can see, it's continuous. We don't see that offset between the two faces. This is what I want. But the size of this brick is a little bit off. So what I can do is press 0 to get inside of the camera, and let me change the scale to 8. I'm going to change the scale to 8 in every axis, like something like this. So now as you can see, the texture is a little bit good. After this, let me go to this render properties, change this one to cycles, and let me change the feature set to experimental, and let me change this one to GPU, and I'm going to activate this denoise in the sampling right here in the viewport sampling, and go to this color management, and I'm going to change this one to filmic. Make sure that this one is filmic, and you can just make this one maybe medium high contrast, or you can just leave it as none. It will depend on your preference. After you have done that, what you can do is if you go to this material properties and if you go to setting, you'll see a property called displacement, and I'm going to change this one to displacement and bump. You will see the effect of this one later. So if I go to cycles to see what this will give me, as you can see, I'm having some displacement. So that's the function of this displacement, but this does not have enough geometry to give us a proper displacement. So to do that, what you can do is key tab to get inside of the edit mode. I'm going to press Ctrl R and I'm going to give it a subdivision like this. Let me go to solid view. Press Ctrl R again, give it subdivision like this. Just create a square among all of the faces. Like this, press Ctrl R, scroll your mouse upward. Just place the subdivisions where the brick is going to be placed. So guys, as you can see, I've created those subdivisions properly. After this, let me get inside of the modifier properties. Hit tab to get outside of the edit mode. I'm going to give it a subdivision modifier like this, subdivision surface, and let me change this one to simple. Activate this adaptive subdivisions. So if I press 0, and let me drag this one like this, and Let me go to cycles to see what this has given me. So as you can see, the result that we have got is a little bit better than it was before, right? So to see it clearly, we have to adjust the lighting. So what I can do is just click this one like this and deactivate this scene world, which is going to use the EEVEE pre-built HDRI. As you can see, it's a little bit more accurate than it was before, but the displacement is a little bit too much. So what I'm going to do is let me change the scale to 0.1 so that it will be more accurate, and I'm going to 0 so that it will be displaced according to this camera view. So this is what I'm getting. Maybe I can change this one to 0.2 or something so that it will have more displacement, as you can see. So the more you view towards it, it's going to, analyze the placement of your view, and it's going to subdivide it according to the view that you are on. So by using this method, let us give the ground also texture. So I'm going to select this one and let me drag this one like this. Let me go to online and let me change this one to paving stones right here. And I will select the paving stone that I'm going to use. But I have already downloaded some of the paving stone that I'm going to use. So as you can see, I have downloaded 4 paving stones. I'm going to use this paving stone 70. Just download this one. I already downloaded 2K version of it. So I'm going to hit plus and I'm going to select this material, and I'm going to select the resolution, and I'm going to hit OK. When I do that, as you can see, it's applied, but the placement of this one is not correct. So to fix that, we need to UV unwrap this one. So hit tab to get inside of the mode, press A and then U, and select the Smart UV project and hit OK. Now as you can see, the texturing is placed correctly, but the scale is a little bit off, right? So what I'm going to do is let me change this one to 10 or something. 10. Make this one also 10, and also this one 10. So if you get inside of the camera view, I think this one is a little bit small, right? Maybe let me make it 5. Maybe make this one 4. I think 5 is a little bit smaller. Yeah, maybe 4 will be good. After I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat the same process that I have done earlier. Go to this material properties, and I'm going to go to this setting, and I'm going to change this one to displacement and bump. When I do that, as you can see, it's deforming, but it's not deforming correctly. The reason for that is it does not have enough displacement. So let me go to the solid preview, press Ctrl R, and let me give a subdivision like this. Press Ctrl R again right here. Give a subdivision like this. Press Ctrl R also in this direction and give a subdivision like this. After I've done that, let me increase the number of loops so that every face will be a square. After I've done that, go to this modifier properties. Let me give it a subdivision surface, and let me change this one to simple, and now I'm going to leave everything as it is. So if I press 0 and go to this render view, this is what I'm getting. Let me change the scale of the displacement to 0.2 or something. Maybe something like this, maybe 0.1. Yeah, 0.1 would be good. I think 0.2 is a little bit too much. And also for the wood, I have already downloaded wood texture. As you can see, I have already downloaded a wood texture, which is wood 62. So select the wood and then hit plus. And I'm going to select this material, and I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to use 1K for this one, since I don't need to be that much high resolution. But you can use 2K. Just hit plus and then hit OK. Now the material is applied right here, but the placement is not correct. So to fix that, what you can do is go to the solid preview. Let me select all of the woods that are going to be the same texture. After that, hit tab to get inside of the edit mode, press A and then U, and I'm going to select the unwrap. Now we have a UV map. So if I go to this UV editor, as you can see, this is the UV map of everything that's selected in the scene. And then go to this render view to see what we are getting. As you can see, the texturing is a little bit correct. So I'm going to get inside of this UV editor, press R, and then 90 degree. Now that, as you can see, the rotation is fixed. So as you can see, the placement of the texture is fixed. After I've done that, hit tab to get outside of the camera mode. And then I'm going to select this one to make it an active object. Press Ctrl L and select this link materials. When I do that, as you can see, now the material is being applied on all of them, but one of the material is a little bit off. So I'm just going to keep this one as it is so that it will give me a little bit of randomness in the scene. But in order to fix it, what you can do is just select this one, hit tab to get inside of the edit mode. As you can see, this is the UV map of this one. So press A to select everything right here, press R and then 90. When I do that, as you can see, now it's completely fixed. So guys, after this, get outside of the edit mode by pressing tab. Let us give this window a material. Select this window, go to this material properties, and then hit this new. After you have done that, you will have this basic principal base diff. So in the surface, click this principal base diff. When you do that, you will have a lot of options. Select this glass base diff. As you can see, now it's a glass material, and we have a property of this glass right here. And also if I change this one to shader editor, as you can see, we have the glass property right here. And I'm going to change the roughness to 0, and also let me change the IR to 1.5. 1.5. So after this, by using the methods that I've shown you to texture this brick and also this paving stone, just give the frame and also this one the texture that you want. So guys, as you can see, I have finished giving all of the necessary materials for this scene. For this one, as you can see, I have used Plaster 002, and also for the window frames, I have used Woods 33. So just, use those materials. And the one thing that I want to tell you is, for example, when you are doing this flooring for this road, as you can see, the displacement is, flipped. So to fix that, what you can do is just hit tab to get inside of the edit mode, press 8, select everything, and in the mesh, you'll see an option called normals, and all you have to do is select this recalculate outside. In case if that does not work, what you can do is just click this inside. It's going to flip it. So as you can see now, it's fixed. So I'm going to press Alt 8 to hide the surrounding buildings. These are the buildings that we are going to use for the final render. Let me go to this output properties and let me activate this render region so that it will only render the region that we want. So for the model of the bike and the electric box, we are going to use models from Sketchfab. You'll find this bike in the link in the description below. As you can see, it's really good. It has a really good texturing. And also for the electric box, I'm going to use this one. As you can see, it's really good. It has a really good texturing. We're going to use these models. So to download them, what you can do is just select this download 3D model and just select this JTF format. After you have downloaded that, you will find a zip file. Make sure that you have extracted that file. So as you can see, this is the file for the bike, SimJTF. And what you can do is just go to Blender. Let me go to the solid view and let me press 8, select everything, and press 8 to hide it. After I have done that, what I can do is go to File and then Import and select this JLTF. And after this, go select the one that you have downloaded and extracted. So just bicycle and select this Sim JLTF, and I'm going to import JLTF. As you can see, it has imported it. So if I scroll my middle mouse upward, as you can see, the scale is a little bit too big. So what I'm going to do is, before doing anything, hold on Shift and select one of them like this. As you can see, all of them are separate objects, so we need to join them. So right click and then select this join. Now they are joined and they are now one object. And press S to scale it like this. Press S to scale it. Press S to scale it. I'm going to press Alt H to unhide everything so that I can manipulate the scale according to the building. Press S to scale it like this. Go to this view and then press S again. Let me press G and let me press R to rotate it so that it will match the inclination of the road like this. Press R to scale it, press R to rotate it, press G, press R again. Just scale the bike until it's equivalent to the real world scale, something like this. So guys, by using this method, place the electric box and also the lighting right here. So guys, as you can see, I have placed the necessary elements. So if I go to render view, this is what we are getting so far. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to place some vegetations inside the scene. To do that, I'm going to use a free add-on called Botanic Free, which you'll find the link in the description below. To install that add-on, what you can do is just go to Edit, in the Preferences, in the add-ons, click this Install, and select the zip file that you have downloaded. After you have done that, all you have to do is just click this Install add-on, and then you will find this Botanic Free like this. And make sure that this one is activated. After you have done that, click this Save Preferences. And then to see the add-on, what you can do is press in on your keyboard to slide this tab out, and you'll see a tab called Polygonic. If you click that, you'll see the add-on right here, which is Botanic Free. So if you click this pound asset, you will see this free options. For example, in the Converse, we have 2 options, and in the Delicious, we have around 4 options. So I'm going to use this Black Locust. But before importing it, let me change this to Solid Preview. If you are importing it in the render view, it might crash. So I'm going to press Ctrl S to save it in case Blender crashes. Sometimes when I import these assets, Blender crashes. So after this, shift right click in the place where you want the asset to be placed. As you can see, I've placed it right here. And also select this pound asset, and I'm going to hit OK. Now it's placed, as you can see, but the scale is a little bit too much. So I'm going to press S to scale it. Maybe something like this. And also shift right click right here, spawn asset, and hit OK. Now it's imported. I'm going to press S to scale it, something like this. After this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the IV inside the scene. To do that, I'm going to use a free IV generator by Baga. It's a free generator. Just give it some bucks. If you want, just purchase it. When you do that, you will find these 2 files. Just download this demo file and open it. When you open it, you'll find something like this. You are on edit mode by default, so just change this one to object mode, or you can hit tab. I'm going to select this IV, and I'm going to press Ctrl C to copy it, and I'm going to press Ctrl V to paste it. So if I get outside of the camera view, this is what I got. I'm going to press G and Shift Z to move it in the X and Y Z axis. As you can see, this is my IV, and also these are the materials which the IV is constructed from. So after this, let us create the surface where the IV is going to be placed. So I'm going to select this electric box. Let me select this bike and press 8 to hide it. And I'm going to select this building. I'm not going to use all of them for the IV. I want some part of it to be used for the IV. So to do that, hit tab to get inside of the edit mode. Let me select this one, and then let me press C to create circle select. So I'm going to use selection like this, as you can see, something like this. Yep, I want this part of the building to be used for the IV. So I'm going to press Shift D to duplicate it, as you can see, and then press P and then select the selection. So if I get outside of the edit mode and select this one, as you can see, this is now a separate object. So if I select this one, hit tab to get inside of the edit mode. I don't think I need the top view, so I'm going to select like this, press X, and then faces. Now it's deleted. After this, get outside of the edit mode by pressing tab, press M to create a new collection. Select this new collection and create a collection called IV1. You can just name it as much as you want, but I'm going to name it as IV1. And after this, what I'm going to do is let me select this IV. And in the modifier properties, we can see this geometry nodes. And in the target, as you can see, it's using a collection. So I'm going to disable this one. And I'm going to change this one to the IV that we have created earlier. When I do that, as you can see, now it's being placed right here. And if I press GY to move it in the Y-axis, as you can see, it's creating the IV, as you can see. I'm going to press GY and move it like this. Yep, something like this, until you have something that you like. Let me select the surface and then press GX and move it just a little bit like this. Yep, just a little bit outside. Let me select this IV and let me go to the modifier properties. And I have some properties. Let me change the resolution to 20. I don't want it to have that much resolution. And let me change the emit area to 1 so that I will have a lot of IV. And maybe let me change the IV scale to 1.5. Yep, I think 1.5 will be good. Maybe change the density to 80. So to see what we have got, press 0 to get inside of the camera mode and then go to the render view. The next thing that we need to do is I'm going to select the surface where the IV is being emitted. Let me disable this subdivision surface since we're not going to need that. And also go to this object data properties, and in the visibility, I'm going to disable all of them since I don't want this to be visible in the final render. After this, let me press Alt H to hide, the one that we have hidden, the bike and, the electric box. So after this, what we need to do is let us create some color variations for this IV. To do that, what you can do is just go to the solid preview and let me select the IV. Just activate the show overlay, select this IV, which, all of our IV is being constructed from. And if you go to material preview, you can see the material of this IV. So after this, just hit 0 to get inside of the camera mode. Don't select anything else and move this one upward like this, and you can see the property of this IV. We're going to manipulate only the color channel of this IV. So I'm going to place this one like this and place this one like this, and let me change this one to render view and press Ctrl B, and then let me create a box select so that I will render only the view that I want to be rendered, something like this. After this, what I can do is press Shift A and go to search and add an object info like this. This will help us to create a random color for the leaf. And then also press Shift A again. I'm going to add a color ramp like this and plug the random to the factor. After I've done that, I'm going to press Shift A and search hue and saturation like this and plug the color to the color. In this one, this color to the color, the base color like this. So in order to create a variation, what you can do is, for example, if you want to change a variation in the hue, just plug this one to the hue like this. As you can see, when you do that, you will find some really interesting color differences, which this object info is creating using this random node. And also I can press Shift A and add a math node like this and plug this one right here. I'm going to change this one to multiply. And for example, if I change this one to 2, as you can see, it's multiplying the effect like this. Well, we're getting a different effect, but I'm going to make this one to 0.8. And after this, let me select this white part and click right here and let me make it a little bit more darker. As you can see, it's becoming as it was before. Yep, this is what I want. Maybe click this the black part. As you can see, when I'm making it more white, it's becoming green, which is its previous texture. So just place it until you have something that you like. Maybe something like this will be good. After I've done that, what I'm going to do is let me also, create a variation for the value. So I'm going to select this one, press Shift D to duplicate it. Select this one also, press Shift D to duplicate it. Let me place this one right here. And then plug the random to the factor. And the color to the value right here. And also the value to the value right here. And let me change this one to maybe to 2 so that it will be more bright. As you can see, whenever you change this multiply math node, it's going to make it a lot brighter. but I'm going to place this one right here, and I'm going to make it black like this. I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to make it more white like this, as you can see. And as you can see, we have a lot of difference. We have some black portions, and also we have some brighter portions. To make all of them more bright, what you can do is just drag the brighter portion to the darker portion. As you can see, it's becoming more white like this. And also what you can do is, if you want it to be more black, you can just drag the black part. And also the next thing that you can do is just select this black part and make it, make this one more white. When you do that, as you can see, everything is becoming more brighter. So guys, by using this method, you can control the value and everything. To see what we have got clearly, press Ctrl B again, select everything like this. So this is the texture that we are getting. I think it's looking good. So after this, what you should do is place also some IVs on the side. Just create the surface with the IV is going to be placed. Create a new collection as we have done earlier, and just place the IV also right here. After this, what we need to do is we need to create the lighting. To create the lighting, I'm going to use a free add-on called EEVEE HDRI, which you'll find the link in the description below. In order to install that add-on, what you can do is just go to Edit and then Preferences and click this Install Add-on. And then just go select the add-on that you have downloaded, which is a zip file. After you have done that, click this install add-on, and then you will find it called EEVEE HDRI. Just you find this like this, activate this one and close this one. In order to see this HDRI, just press in your keyboard like this. You will find this tab, and in this tab you will find this EEVEE HDRI. You'll find this something like this, and you'll find this folder icon. Click this folder icon. Go select the folders that you have downloaded your HDRIs on. I will place a link where you can find free HDRIs, and also I will place the specific HDRI which I have used for this tutorial. After you have done that, hit accept. I have already have an HDRI pack. As you can see, all of them are downloaded from hdrihaven.com or polyhaven.com. So for this case, I'm going to use this one. After I have done that, what you can do is just select create world nodes. It will create a world node like this. Let me change the selection to this one. You have to change the selection after you have created the world node. In order to see the lighting this has given us, what you can do is click this one and activate the scene world again, which we have deactivated earlier. As you can see, we are getting something like this. I think it's looking really interesting, right? You can use different kinds of HDRI to get different kinds of lighting, as you can see. But sometimes some HDRIs might not interact well with the scene. As you can see, some of them are really good, and some of them they don't have that much interesting look. As you can see, this one looks a lot better. So guys, by using this, you can create the lighting effect that you want. The next thing that I want to show you is, for example, if I drag this upward like this, and if I change this object to worldlet, you'll see the property of this HDRI right here. You can see the mapping node and also the HDRI that's being used in this lighting. And we have some nodes which this HDRI has created for us. We are not going to touch any of this. The one thing that we are going to manipulate is the rotation. And in the Z value, as you can see, for example, if I rotate it, since we are seeing a change in the lighting. The reason for that is if I, for example, navigate outside of the camera. So whenever I'm rotating the Z value, as you can see, it's rotating the HDRI, which will give us a different lighting effect. So if I press 0, as you can see, it's becoming a lot darker. So just rotate it until you find the lighting effect that you want. As you can see, when I'm using this one, it's really giving me a really good result. And also the next thing that you can do is in the sun strengths, for example, you can use 0.001. When you do that, the sun strengths will be more brighter and it will be more realistic. If it's too much, you can just make it smaller like this. So after this, in order to render it, what you can do is go to this render properties, and the render engine must be cycles. The feature set has to be experimental, and the device has to be GPU. If you have a GPU device, it will make it a little bit faster. In the render, everything is good, but let me change the max sample to 1024. I don't need anything greater than that. And activate this denoise, and the denoiser has to be open image denoiser. In the view, in the color management, make the view transform to filmic. In the look, maybe medium high contrast. As you can see, it's going to give me a lot of contrast. Maybe medium contrast would be good. After this, go to this output properties. As you can see, I have a resolution of 1080 in X and Y axis, and I'm going to change the percentile to 150 so that I will have more screen percentage, and which will give me higher quality. After you have fixed everything, what you can do is click this render and select this render image. It will render out your image. So guys, this is all for today. I hope you have learned something new in this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, please don't forget to like and subscribe so that I can keep making videos like this in the future, and see you in the next tutorial.